Yo, I don't know if I'm live. I have no idea if I'm live. So, just checking. Okay, so I'm live. All right, cool. What's going on? I am in Amsterdam. I am here doing stuff for IBC and Adorama. So, I'm going to be working with them. I work for Adorama, so whatever. I wanted to go over my kit because we're going to be shooting here in Amsterdam. We're going to be then going to Paris, where I'll be shooting for Makeup Forever. And then we will be going to Cologne, Germany, where I'll be shooting live in the Last Light booth. So I had to be ready for a bunch of things. I'm not really sure what my shoot in Amsterdam is going to be yet. We're having trouble with some logistics and a few other things. So I wanted to go over what was happening in this kit. Let me just pop out the chat in case there's actually anybody that wants to chat. Ask all the questions you want because that's why we're live, right? I'm just looking at a laptop where, you know, the stream is because I'm doing this through my phone as per usual. Okay, so this is the Tank Security V3. This is the largest carry-on for flight that allowed me to pack the stands I needed and everything. I have 5 speed lights. I have all my grip and everything right in here. And then I also have my Tenba DNA 15 backpack, which is a roll top. This thing's awesome. We'll go through that secondary. But first, there is this guy, right? So, hey, what's going on? All right, so this has the built-in TSA lock. This is, wait, I want to show you guys my combo. So the cool thing about this was I needed a way to put in stands, and this allowed for about 20 inches of distance. Not a lot of cases came even close to giving me that much space. So this allowed me to get all my grip going, right? When I open this thing up, first of all, this is heavy as fuck, all right? I have Elastolite tri-grip right here. Right there I have a reflector with a 5-in-1 skin that I can hold myself. I don't have to worry about anything. So right there off the bat, that's in there. In the front pocket, we're looking at an assortment of gels. Roscoe dropped a few kits off, so I've been mooching off of them. I put a few of my other favorite gels in here, like Urban Vapor and chocolate and things like that. I really feel like all else fails, I can come up with something creatively with some gels. But it's always good to just have them, you know? Let me know if my mic is doing okay. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Always good to just have them, you know? Okay, I think you can hear me because I'm hearing the screen. All right, so that's just like the first pocket. Inside, let's do this. I have this lovely assortment. Let me just make sure this is on fan. So right off the bat, I lay all my my modifiers that lay flat like a I'm sorry, I'm so tired right now. It's like crazy. I have all my soft boxes laying flat. This is the Lastolite Easy Box series. So I have the Joe McNally and I have the regular Easy Box 2. Flat, boom, and and you put on the front facade and you have yourself a soft box. Folds up flat and you're out of there, right? So I have this, which is Silverline, this one, which is the Joe McNally, that's white line, so it's softer, and the front is a little flagged so it doesn't spill light everywhere. So I have options there, but I'm shooting with the Profoto A1, which is a big round Fresnel lens on the front of that thing. So in order to get this thing to fit in here, I had to rip some of the plastic guards in here that usually keep the light from falling too far into it. Had to rip that out. Just so I get the light to fit in there. So these aren't too ideal for the Profoto A1, but they do work. We'll go over some other ones that actually do, that are a better choice for that. So right off the bat, all my chargers for the Profoto A1, right? So this is the lights of choice for this trip. Lithium ion batteries, which means I don't have to pack a million AA's. I don't have to worry about trying to find power sources or taking up a ton of space. I don't have to worry about getting AA that are rechargeable with a lot of bays. And these batteries are super small. They last a pretty good amount of time, and it keeps the recycling time on the flash like super fast. So the A1 is definitely helped me out on this trip. Usually I would have about 5 speed lights, and then I also have a bag just for power. Another power pack, another battery pack with AA's in it. So it'll be 4 in the speed light and 8 in the pack. And then I'd have to have a way to charge it. So I almost would have a whole bag just for power. This allows me to just carry an extra battery in the charger and the battery on board, and now I'm good to go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one inside my Tenba, because the way I looked at it is, if this didn't make it onto the plane and it was checked and it got lost somewhere, in this bag I have my camera, my lenses, and 1 speed light and a remote, which means that at least I have a way to create light and document light, which means I can get something, right? Always give yourself a fail-safe when packing gear. At least that's the way I look at it. There's a lot of things that are out of your control, like where your bags could end up if they leave your hands and they end up on another flight, or they didn't get there, or they got damaged, or anything could have happened to this bag if it didn't make it on the flight. At least everything that's in this bag can get me an ability to get a shot, and in a controlled setting, because I'll have my speed light, I have a remote to get that light off of my camera, and I obviously have my camera. So these are the 4 lights I have. The 5th one's in there. Everything else is grip and modifier. So this is the Justin clamp. This is one of Manfrotto's best things ever, although I did modify this. So this guy right here has a 5/8 socket, can go on a stand, and then a shoe to put my speed light on. Actually, let's do that. Let's mount. Let's keep a speed light out, and I'll show you how I mount it onto a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this locks down onto my shoe. I lock the thing, and now I have a shoe-mounted flash that can go on a stand, which I have, or if I'm running really fast and I need to just mount something, I can grab a chair, grab a chair over and just clamp it to that, and now I have a way to grip the light. And this is a ball head, which allows me to put the light however I want and then lock it down, and I'm still good to go. When I packed this, I was thinking about Amsterdam, because like, what if I ended up by the water and I have nowhere to like physically put a stand down? At least I could clamp this to a rail or something like that. But we'll see what happens with that, because right now I'm trying to piece together something to shoot while we're already covering the IBC trade show. You can check out day 1 of the IBC trade show on Adorama TV right now, so go check that out. If you guys have any questions or anything, just yell at me, say something. I know that I'm probably like cutting off my head or whatever, but it doesn't really matter, right? Let me see. How bad's this frame? Oh, it's not that bad. Okay. And I'm sorry for the light in here. It's just not that good. All right, so we'll keep this light out. The first thing I packed was these guys, which are master articulating arms, right? So these arms can mount to the stand. So this is, whoops. So this is the Matthews reverse fold stand. This is 20 inches. This was the longest thing I'm packing, which means that's what made me decide I needed this case. And Think Tank came through and hooked me up with this case, so I want to thank Think Tank really well. So this stand is awesome. So I can just set this up like anywhere, right? Let's pretend this bed doesn't suck, but I can set this up anywhere. And now I have a stand, and then I take articulating arm and I put that onto the stand. And then, because this is a shoe, I just take my light, boom it right onto that, tighten down the shoe, lock the shoe down, and now anywhere I want to put this light, I can, and then all I have to do is tighten this down, and boom, I have a light stand with a mounted light. Of course, I'm on a squishy bed right now, so it's not going to like be the most stable thing. Can you even see that? Am I out of frame on this? Oh, I am out of frame on this. Okay. So how about this? I'll do it like that. So now I can put this light wherever I want. Sorry I'm doing this so shady. I mean, I have to do a better system than my phone, but for right now, that's what I got. So you guys can see that I have a stand, and my stand can go as far as I want. So as a matter of fact, now I'll just keep it like this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers of, I'm touching the ceiling of this room right now. So this can get this height that I need and then get me the reach that I want over with just an articulating arm. And when you break this down, you got to realize that this folds into this, right? And then this, when this folds down, all I have is 20 inches. This is giving me 7 feet up and about, what is that? Like a little over 2 feet of reach over. So this is giving me the reach and height of like a C-stand in the back, in my backpack. Well, not my backpack, there's a roller. Sorry, again, I'm exhausted, so I'm like, no. But do you see the value in that? That's like crazy to me, that I'm not just carrying around a stand that gets me up. I'm not just handicapped to having a light that just tilts down 45 degrees. I can actually get over my subject, and I can put this in any position I want because it's an articulating arm. So yeah, this adds a bunch of weight because I have about 3 of these, but I think that it's a roller case. I said to myself, you know what, just take what you need because you don't know what you're gonna get into. And the last thing I wanna do is fly on the other side of the world from New York to Amsterdam, Paris, and Cologne and not have something I need and go, oh, if I only had this, I could have done that, you know? I wanna make the most of everything I do here, and I wanna get the most optimal conditions I can with what's on my back. So on top of that, whoops, I just dropped this in between the bed. On top of that, I have a floor stand with me. So floor stand, right? This will give me the ability to mount the light right to the floor. I can mount it here, like legitimately on the floor, or I can have, let's see, 1, 2 tiers up, and this gets the light to about mid-torso for me. So it's really good for a fill, it's really good for a background light, and it's 2 pieces, so it's super easy for me to pack. And if I needed to, and I mean, this is extreme cases, but if I really needed to, I can use just this piece as a boom. I can have like somebody off camera holding a light out like a boom, you know, so it's really useful. It is super like inexpensive. This one's made by Interfit, and this was one of my favorite stands ever. It's just not the best material. It will not last you forever, but they are low cost, so you can get like a million of them. Bongo ties always, because you never know when you got to like grip something together temporarily. You don't want to use glues or anything with glue on it, like gaff tape, or you don't have Velcro on you, or zip ties, because you know that's a pain to get off sometimes. This is there any questions? This chat is so quiet. What's going on with you guys? Okay, so I also packed this, which is a Lastolite trifold umbrella. The cool thing about this is how big it is, but if I just take this out, right, and then I have a light source that's this big. I ended up having a shoot-through umbrella that's 3 feet across that just is this big in my bag. I mean, how could you go wrong, right? So how do I mount this umbrella adapter? I take one of these guys, you know, tighten this down. I put the light on it, right? I tighten the light down because pretty much anything I could put a cold shoe to is what I put in this bag. I got the Justin clamp, and now I have this umbrella adapter, which a lot of brands make. So let me see, I'm gonna lock this down like that. This can even, you can even hand hold this if you had to. And then this will go through here. And then I have a light source. Let's even turn it on. I'll put on the modeling light. I have the light source that's filling this umbrella up, right? So right there in my pocket, I have a really fast solution into making this a softer light source than just a direct flash. And I can hold this with one hand and shoot with the other. I can have an assistant hold it, or I can mount it to any of the stands that I have. So it's like perfect. I always throw one of these in the bag because I never know when I'm going to need it. And it's just one of those things that's super fast to set up. And, you know, you're always trying to make small lights look like bigger lights. What's faster or easy to pack than an umbrella that goes down to this big. This is crazy. Do I use a flash meter for outside shoot? Actually, I could, but one of the cool things about the Profotos is that it has a system of TTL that, let's say I get to a location, I can check in my camera the meter, right? The meter there, my camera has a light meter in it, so I'm reading the situation and I'm getting the exposure that I want, right? Let's say I want to underexpose it a little bit. I can do that. And then let's say my exposure, I work it out and it's at like 5.6 at, 2/50th of a second, or if I'm outside, honestly, it would probably be more like a 60th or maybe a 30th of a second, ISO 100 or whatever. So I put this into TTL, I camera mount it, and then with the settings I'm already trying to shoot at, the TTL will measure how much output this light is putting out and then adjust the power to the f-stop I have in my camera. And then I can take this off of TTL, lock it in and make it manual, and then just remember as the power setting that it feels is the correct exposure for the flash. So you're managing 2 exposures at once, which means that my shutter speed is mainly going to be affecting my ambient light in the location. And then my aperture, no matter how I change my aperture, the light, if it's on TTL, will adjust its power up and down based on my aperture. If I'm at a 5.6 and it's at a certain power setting like 6 or whatever, and I change to f8, this will go up 2 stops to compensate for that. So it's a pretty useful tool. If you don't have TTL, you can just meter the light by hand and just fire it and get the meter reading and try to get it to the f-stop that you want it to be at. TTL just makes things faster, easier, and it's never understanding what you're trying to shoot. It's just trying to make the best of the situation and doing everything off of math and numbers. So yeah, so that's that. On top of that, I have these guys, which is Rogue Expo Imaging, and they make this, which is a bunch of grids, right? And one of the cool things they do is they also make white grids. White grids allow for there to be a narrow spread of light, but when it hits something, it gradates, it bleeds a little bit. This is a very sharp circle to a degree, and then this bleeds and gradates a little more. So it's pretty cool that they do that, and they work really pretty well with the Profotos. So you can just put the Profoto inside what could already be a snoot type situation, right? And then this could be a snoot, or I can put a grid into this thing and narrow the spread of light. So it's really another thing that takes up little space but makes a big impact on my light. One of the cool things though about the Profoto is it doesn't just zoom the head, it actually lets you focus the beam down. So let me see if I can get this to show up better. I don't know, does this work? And you can see that it's spreading across the whole bag, and then if I want to, I can narrow down the spread to be just the center in there. So it's almost a really good system to just right out of the box, right out of your bag, to give you a lot of versatility, which is great. But if I really wanted to control things, I can throw this on there as well. So Rogue always making some cool stuff for us to play with. Also, I packed these guys. These are the Profoto A1 soft bounce. What's cool about these is they create not only beautiful light, but they make a very specific direction of light. What do I mean by that? I know. What do I mean by that? So, I take the Profoto. This is a bonnet. So what happens is this magnet mounts to the top, right? So now the light's going up, filling this, and becoming bigger and indirect because it's going up instead of at my subject. Now, if I wanted to make it even softer, I have their dome diffuser. I put that guy right in there. And now I have an even more even spread of light and a more diffuse light to cut down the specular highlights like oils on skins. But what's even better about this is that they almost act like a strip light. Trust me. If I were to light someone's head like this with it, it would act like a rim light. It wouldn't fill like a circle of light. It would actually be a very narrow spread and it would catch my subject like a rim or a hair light. They're super useful, they're super lightweight, and they fold down into these little cases and take up almost no space, right? So how could you not? I have 2 of these with me because they take up like almost no room. I also have, man, I'm like running out of breath here. Is everybody good so far? I know I'm like a little not on point right now. I'm very feel like garbage, but I'm trying to do this for you guys. I also packed the Profoto 1x1.3 box. This is one of my most favorite boxes of all time. If any of you follow me on my live demos, you know I like a lot of small light sources. So that's how big this box is, and it's deep. It actually flags the light so it doesn't spread a lot. I find that this light helps me get the pattern of light that I want on my subjects to really sculpt out their facial features as I need them. The farther away I go, of course, the harder the light source gets, but it's already a pretty hard light source because it's such a small box, and I'm using an already small light like the A1. Where did I put that? They're so small, I don't even know where I put it. Okay, oh, here it is. So it keeps the light source not where I want it. Instead of being a huge source that just fills an area, I can really put this where I want it to go. And because this box is silver lined and has 2 layers of diffusion, it has a kick, but it also breaks up the specular highlights as well. So you don't get that shine too easily, but you do get that like hard snap, which I'm a fan of. Oh yeah, so what else do I have? I have the speed ring for that box that has a shoe mount on it, so I can just put this on a stand or the articulating arm and I'm good to go. You know, this and this together doesn't really take up that much space. So maybe I'll pack a lot into this case right now. I'm sorry, excuse me. Hey Mark, I'm in Amsterdam because we are covering the IBC trade show, which is an enormous industry broadcasting, it's the International Broadcasting Conference or whatever. So all the big companies are here showing all their new stuff. We covered it on Adorama TV. You can check that out. Okay, so this is these are the last 2 modifiers I have in this case. This is the Joe McNally small box from Lastolite. It's white lined, it's super flagged off. Again, another small source. 2 layers of diffusion in there. And the best part is, it folds up to nothing. Look at this. Look at this. The problem with this thing is, Lastolite, I think you stopped making it. So how am I supposed to keep on pushing this thing or get another one if I lose this? But it takes up no space and it's a really fast grab. No speed ring, no extra accessory. Pop it open, get it on your light, start shooting. The problem with it is, most of you are going to think it's still a hard light source because the pattern of light that comes out of it is still contrasty because it's small. Just because it says it's a soft box and just because your light is being diffused through it doesn't make it a softer, the soft light you're looking for. So keep in mind that softness of light still is the size of your light. So this obviously would be a softer light source than that tiny box. This, however, will be the, excuse me, I'm sorry. This, however, will be the biggest box that I have in here. And this is the Joe McNally signature. I know, Joe, I'm like totally plugging your stuff. This is that thing times 10. Look at that. And then I have this size of a softbox. Look at the size of this thing. 2 layers of diffusion again. But this one, however, does need a bracket for you to put it on. So there is some extra rigging to it, which is expected because you're putting together a larger light source at this point. So this isn't the one that I'm going to pull out for a really fast get together. However, it is pretty quick to put together, but I just think that after you build it in the few seconds it takes to build, you still got to put the bracket on and you still have to figure out a way to grip it because it's kind of a heavy light. So it's for the size of it, it's a weird balancing point. So you're gonna have to think a little bit about how you use your grip with this one. So it's not the fastest thing in the world, but for what it is, it's super fast. I know I'm contradicting myself left and right here. I know. So how confusing can I get for you guys? How confusing can I get? I'll tell you, super confusing because I'm losing my voice and I'm exhausted. All right, so that's pretty much this kit. So I have 2 of these stands. I have 3 articulating arms, which I just showed you before. 1 shoot-through umbrella, which I showed you. 4 speed lights, 4 chargers, the soft bounce, the Rogue grid system, the Justin clamp, the Joe McNally big box, Joe McNally small box, the 2 easy box systems from Lastolite, all in this case, and my gels and that Lastolite tri-grip, which I kicked this off for. I kicked off this live stream with. So that's my main case, the Tank Security V3, my main lighting and rig case. Now, you're gonna say, well, you have to shoot the light with something, right? You need a camera. And that's what I have on me at all times. So, let me put this over here. All this junk that I'm gonna have to repack up because, you know, I love you guys so much, I had to do it. This is what's been on my back. This is the Tenba DNA 15 roll top backpack. What I love about this bag is it's 2 levels pretty much. So this in here is all my photo gear. It comes out like a drawer pretty much. And in here, of course, I have my my Nikon D50. Here's my tethering cable, by the way, Tether Tools, the Tether 3.0 active boost cable. And I have my Nikon with a lens mounted to it. I have 2 other lenses in here. I have my 105 micro because I love that lens. I love it for portraits more than anything, believe it or not. And I also have my 14 millimeter 2.8, which you guys watched me use in the Nikon Z7 video on Adorama TV. So I just had a feeling that I'm going to want to go wide at some point, and I've already seen a bunch of places in Amsterdam that if we get a chance to shoot, I am going to go mega wide with that 14. So then this can just go right back into the bag, and I'm good to go. However, in all my other pockets is, you know, my lens filters, polarizers, and magentas, and CC30 greens. I'm gonna go over these filters in another video. There are a lot to explain, the CC30 and the magenta. So I'm gonna go over that in another video. So keep watching this channel if you can. Now, yeah, it is a nice bag. I also have my Photo Brigade memory card wallet. Thank you, Robert Kaplan, for having me as a guest on the Photo Brigade to let me get one of these, and for getting me this Tenba bag, actually. I'm hooked up all over the place, kid. What else do I got in here? Nothing really. I got an extra battery for my Fuji. I have a Fuji X100F sitting over there, which has been in my pocket most of the trip. Now inside this is the roll top portion. So all of this is just an empty cavity, and I can just keep chucking things in there as I need them. And inside this, I have my Nikon batteries and charger. I have my hard drives that I'm documenting everything with. I have another charger for Profoto, right? But I also have a Profoto light. So I have a Profoto A1 sitting here, right? And I also have in here, let me see if I can somehow can find it. It is, oh, it's sitting over there. I also have the Profoto remote for this so that I can take this off camera and fire it. Let me just see if I put it over here. 1 second, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm trying to make this the best I can for you guys. All right, so I have to find that remote somewhere, which sucks. What you're not seeing is another duffel bag full of clothing that's covered with a ton of junk. Thanks so much, Elton. I am looking for, I got keys. I have backup USB cables for tethering. I have my laptop in here. So this is what's on my back so that no matter what happens, you're probably hearing all this in the mic, I'm sorry. So no matter what happens, I can still shoot somehow. What is going on here? I left a Profoto remote somewhere in this room, which is kind of crazy. Let me see if I put it in here somehow. Whoops. Any questions so far? Because I'm pretty much coming to the end of this. But at least if I lost this bag somehow, if it didn't make it on the plane, I still have one camera, my lenses, and a speed light, or I should call it the Profoto A1 because they hate it when I call it a speed light. But guess what, Profoto? It's a speed light. All right. I'm not on your team, so I don't have to sugarcoat anything for people. I have extra shirts, obviously, always more white shirts because you're gonna sweat through them like crazy. What else do we got? Oh, tons of mini gaff tape. This is micro gaff. You never know when you're gonna need that. Keys that don't do anything for me over here in Amsterdam. And more, I have a ton of Nikon batteries. And I don't know where I put my Profoto remote. Hang on a second. Whoop, sorry guys, I dropped my mic. This live stream is becoming a bit of a mess because I'm just exhausted. It's a speed light. It is a speed light, Elton. I know it's a speed light. You know it's a speed light. We all know it's a speed light. But Profoto prefers to call it the world's smallest studio light, which take that for what you will. Where did I put the Profoto remote? That kind of sucks. It's got to be in one of these bags somewhere because I just saw it this morning, so that's kind of crazy. Okay, so that's pretty much what's in my kit. You guys have any questions, hit me now because I'm probably going to end this and go like that. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll go out on the town for a little bit. But we got to be up and out early tomorrow to go cover the IBC show for you guys. So if you want, check out Adorama TV where we covered IBC day 1, day 2 obviously tomorrow. And then we will be in Paris where I'll be shooting for Makeup Forever. I don't think you'll be able to see that video for a week or so. And then I will be in Cologne, Germany, where we will be covering Photokina, which is one of the craziest, biggest shows in the industry. And I'll be shooting live for Lastolight, which is pretty exciting. It's a total honor. I can't believe that they're having me do that. And yes, so guys, that's my kit. I think I gave you guys everything. And so do me a favor, like hit like, write some comments. Oh wait, we got questions. I'm sorry. Do you use a Profoto A1 with a Fuji or just a Nikon? Just a Nikon because all my Profoto A1s are they are just Nikon shoes. However, this is a Fuji, right? And this is an A1, and this mounts right to the shoe. If I wanted to, turn it on. And if I take this off and I go to, and all I need is the center pin for this to fire. However, this has to be an all manual because it can't talk to my camera because it's an Nikon shoe. But yeah, I mean, I could do it if I wanted to. I don't really want to, but let me put the, let's see, put the head on. Head on. And then I go into my menu. I don't even know why I'm doing this. This is probably so boring to you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm doing this. I apologize. Well, I don't really apologize. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, it'll just fire because it's just a dumb pin-to-pin connection. I'd have to take this off of silent shooting, which kind of sucks. And then, well, it doesn't suck on this. I just don't shoot with it ever, so. But yeah, so it does mount. Oh, there you go. Cool. All right, so this is a pretty crazy setup right here, actually. This is kind of nuts. Let me see. Flash function settings. Yeah. Okay, guys, so I'm not going to want to bore you guys any more longer. So if you have any other questions, let me know now. But other than that, that's pretty much my kit. 5 A1s, a Nikon D850, some lenses, and a ton of grip. I would put links to this stuff in the below, but you can find it. All right. I will be back when I can. I just want to do this because I haven't been on here for a minute, and I appreciate all you guys following me. So if you have any questions about any of the gear, write them in the comments below. I will you back, and I'll do it after I've gotten some sleep because I am like the walking dead right now. Um, Actually, I wonder if no, okay. Oh, here it is. Here's the remote. Look at that. So I can turn this on. I can turn on any light. And then if this is mounted on my camera, right? So if all I had was this bag, right? So here's my Nikon. I know I have so much stuff, so much stuffs. This is my Nikon. I mount this. I lock it down. I go to here. I put this into, let's see, I'll put this into channel 3, head A. I'll put this into TTL. I'll do this. And now I have an off-camera flash wherever I want it with whatever modifiers I have with me, or I can bounce it into a wall. But the key is I don't have it on camera. So I actually have some control, and then boom. It's actually reading TTL. Boom, perfect. Even though it's just a picture of a wall, but you get it? So wall fails, I still have this, which is a big deal. However, for most of my shooting, I'm probably not going to be using the Profoto remote. If I have all my lights, I always have a shoe mounted light, which can be my trigger, and then everything else can be controlled through here. But it also gives me the advantage of lowering this power down a bunch and using this as an on-axis fill light with my lens. So if I'm shooting at like, you know, a power setting of 8 at my key light, and I set this down to like 3 or 4, that's 5 stops away, that's 4 stops away from my key light, and all it's gonna be doing is still letting the shadows exist, but it'll break them up just enough to make it not a hard contrast and ugly kind of looking, which is awesome. I've become addicted to it this past year. I used to use it here and there, but then not lately. I'm like, yeah, just do an on-camera fill. So that's always awesome. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, so, oh, am I not live anymore? Oh, am I not? Oh, yeah, I am. Okay, cool. All right, thank you guys so much. Any last questions, let me know. There's a bunch of people watching, but no one's really chatting. I don't know how this channel's been going for you. It's been going pretty great for me. I know the quality hasn't been there because I'm using my phone, which is kind of bananas. I will be gearing up once I get back to New York. I'll be gearing up to do better live streams with better gear. Check me out on 1200sessions.com with Daniel. You should put a link to the store of each product that you're using down below. Yeah, I might do that. There's so much stuff here though, it is kind of crazy. I'll put down below the key pieces, I guess, or at least the stuff that you can still get, because some of this stuff doesn't even exist anymore, but I know the gear so much that I don't really want to change until I have to. Like that Joe McNally box that I love so much. Yeah, Patty, I'll be trying to post my photos as I go, but I don't think I'm going to be able to release them till the videos are released. I also don't know what the hell I'm going to really shoot. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll post the Makeup Forever photos probably as soon as I can. There's just a lot of things in play right here where I don't have permission to release things until I get the permission. So I'll get the pics up here as I can. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else, you guys. I have to pack all this junk up. I do have some other gear with me from the other guys that are here. I got Fernando Martinez and David Brusca with me. You guys know Dave Brusca from Rewind. So we're all in this together on this weekend. I don't know what time it is anywhere else, but it's 10 o'clock at night here, and I'm like blitzed. I am just exhausted. Yeah. Oh, and on top of everything else, I have a bunch of mics and stuff to go live. I have all my smart lavs and stuff like that. I have this lav right here. I have a Joby Gorilla Pod-ish type thing that's kind of holding you guys up right there, looking at me. So there's more gear here. This is pretty much just my main kit. So when I get called into the shoot set, the setup, oh man, you hear me? I can't even articulate. When I get called in to finally shoot my own shots, all I'm going to be taking is this think tank and my DNA bag, and I'm out. I do have a 1x3 strip light with me, which is awesome. It's just jammed in another bag that I can't get to right now. So if you guys have any other questions, speak now or else I'm out of here. I appreciate all you guys. If you want to throw any support and you're into all the demos and the talks and stuff like that, you can go to my online store. The link is, I'll put it down below, but it's on my actual YouTube page. On the right side, if you go there, it says like support with merch. You guys can get some of my photos on some rad merch. So do me a favor and just at least check out the shop. Let me know what you think. Grab a shirt, grab a backpack or whatever, enjoy it. I tried to make the prices pretty reasonable. As always, let me know what you guys want to see on here. I'm going to try to, when I get back to New York, I'm going to hit the studio and try to get you guys a demo on some studio techniques. But it's going to be a little crazy because as soon as we land, me and Daniel Norton will be going live on stage at New York Comic Con October 6th. So we got to get ready for that. If you're going to be at Comic Con, let us know. We will be at the River Pavilion, which is like the top floor, at noon, October 6th at New York Comic Con. So come join us for that. I will be at Photo Plus. So anybody in New York that knows Adorama or whatever, spot me at Photo Plus. Feel free to please come say hello. I appreciate all the support. I'd like to see and meet whoever is out there supporting us. Man, you hear me? I'm like out of breath. I also have a pinched nerve in my back, so it's killing me. Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah, I'm going to try to have a great time here in Amsterdam. So far, the food has been awesome. I am going to be fat as hell by the time I get to Photokina, but hey, more of me to love. Mwah. All right. I think that's pretty good, right, guys? I know this was a little mashed and I'm like having a hard time speaking. I apologize. I can't tell you how tired I am right now. I will see you guys on Adorama TV. I will see you guys on Adorama's Instagram. I'll be taking over their story mode as I've been doing for the past day or two. So, reach out there, write something to us. And if you want to see some more of my demos, go to @Adorama on Instagram and go to their IGTV channel, and you can see a bunch of demos I've done, like super soft light with 1-speed light, black and white portraits, tabletop photography, all sorts of stuff is on there. So have fun with that. All right, I'm going to shove all this stuff off my bed and go into a coma. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I appreciate everything. Any questions, write them down below. I'll try to put the links down below when I get a chance, probably tomorrow morning. And yeah, Daniel had a little bit of a rough live stream without me being there on Thursday, huh? So I don't know if the guy's missing me, but we're a team, and I think of that guy as nothing short of like my brother. So I hope he's missing me to some point. But he's cranking out some crazy stuff. So check out Daniel Norton Photographer on YouTube also. I'm on his channel. There's a playlist in my channel of the stuff I've done with him on his channel. So check out all the playlists that I'm putting up on here, please. Write comments all over everything I'm doing on other channels. It really helps me out a lot. If you could mention specific things, always helpful. And I'm doing this because I really believe in community. And when I was coming up, I really appreciated all the older guys that were sitting me down and showing me things that no one else was showing me. So I really hope that somehow, some way I'm helping you guys out there. And when you guys DM me or post photos and tag me in them and say that you learned whatever you did there from something we did, it means more to me than you could ever know, and I appreciate it. So listen, thank you so much. I will catch you guys next time. Can I shut the stream off from here? Probably not, right? No, okay. I gotta actually get up and touch my phone now. All right, guys, thank you so much. It's been a blast. How do I do this? End.